All right, you're in Philly. You don't live there, or even if you do live there, how do you end a great night? Come on. You got to go to Geno's or Pat's for the fucking steak and cheeses, right? And I'm sure the people in Philly, oh, fuck both those places, a fucking tourist trap. You need to go to Uncle Fucky's over here. But whatever. For an out-of-town guy, that's what I did. So I go down there, and first he's going, so what should we do? Should we do Pat's or Geno's? And I'm like, well, fuck it. Why don't we go, we'll get one of each. Then we'll cut them in half, and we'll trade, mix and match, do a little surf and turf, and see which one we like better. So, of course, we go to Pat's first, and we order it. And it's just one giant fucking steak and cheese sub, and they don't even have a plastic knife for you to cut it up. All they have is a spoon for I don't know what. If you get cheese fries or something. So Virgie's got to tear it in half, and I go over to we're standing in line at Geno's. I'm eating half of one of Pat's, right? I got one wit is what we got, and, dude, it was fucking delicious. Fucking delicious. So then I go to the Geno's place. Same deal. We ordered another one. And as I go up there, I know I'd been there before, but I never noticed the sign there on Geno's where it says, he's got two signs. One says, I'm mad as hell. I want my country back. And it's a picture of the original owner. I really don't want to fuck this up. Joey Vento. And it's a picture of him basically with a picture of just the lower 48. I love how he blows off Alaska and Hawaii. He wants his country back. And then below that, there's a picture that says, this is America. When ordering, speak English. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, man, that's like some old school Bronx Tale Archie Bunker shit. And I saw it, and I was like, it was funny to me because there was this table of like 5 Latino people standing around speaking Spanish or whatever, eating the food. And I'm like, wow, that is a testament to how good your fucking food is, where you can just like openly insult somebody like that. And, well, I guess they spoke English too because they did order. I don't fucking know. I'm just saying that your food is so good that you could be like insulting that much, openly insulting, and people still order it. So I looked it up, and there's this whole thing where this guy, Joey Vento's son, Joey Vento passed away, and his son took over the business, and I guess it was this guy's dying wish to keep the Speak English sign at Geno's still up there. I'll read you the article real quickly here. It said last week, Eatery Philly ran a photo of rapper Busta Rhymes hanging out at Geno's Steaks in South Philly. This was all well and good, but what really caught our interest was an update to the item explaining that the Speak English sign is still being proudly displayed at Geno's because its preservation was what late owner Joey Vento... Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, guys. Because its preservation was late owner Joey Vento's dying wish. Geno recently retained Neff Associates, the same public relations firm that began handling the Joe's vs. Chinks racist cheesesteak drama. Oh, this is a PR firm. Neff PR director Kyle Flett explains the Geno sign situation in an email today. He says, as you know, Geno's is under new management since the passing of Joey Vento. Geno Vento, Joey's openly gay son, is the new owner and operator, and I think it's important to inform you that he does not share all of the polarizing views his father was famous for. I think it's also important for you to know that we have retained Joe's Steaks, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, I guess it was this guy's dying wish. His dad's dying wish was to keep it up there, so his son's sort of caught in the middle. I don't know. It's actually almost like an interesting piece of history where they have like colored bathroom only, where you just kind of see how far we've come yet haven't come that far. I don't know. It was pretty. Takes a lot to kind of shock me. I was just like, Jesus Christ. And then I felt like, well, fuck this place. I don't want to eat here. I'll just eat at the other place. And I just heard, well, that's owned by the same family. I don't know. For the record, I like Pat's better on that night. So it might be one of those nights where any given night, but they're both absolutely delicious. So then I had to look up the Joe's versus Chinks racist cheesesteak drama. So I look up this one. By the way, all of this shit is making me feel much better about being from the Boston area, because we seem to get, like, other than the South, like when you talk about racist cities in the North, people always talk about Boston. And I guess there was a place that's now called like Joe's Steaks and whatever. Oh, Jesus, where the fuck is the thing? Where's the article here? Okay, Philly is renaming a cheesesteak shop that used to be called Chinks. All right. Philadelphia, capital city of the United States, is great at many things. It's great at being within a relatively short driving. Unfortunately, two topics it is yet to master are race relations and nuance, which is why its residents are freaking out that a Philly cheesesteak shop known since 1949 as Chink Steaks has just changed its name to Joe's Steaks and Soda Shop. Chinks was named for its original owner, whose name wasn't Chink, but who boy did he look like one, according to his grade school classmates. The Philadelphia Inquirer notes that the late Samuel Chink Sherman, so some guy named Sam Sherman, had almond-shaped eyes, so everybody called him Chink. Folks in the shop's neighborhood understand why someone somewhere at some point maybe could find the well-known racial slur inappropriate, but they stop just short of admitting that it actually is. And because nothing flavors meat like a couple of decades of racism, they're pissed that Chinks no longer exist. Here's a sampling of some of the best lines of complaints. Back then, ethnic slurs slipped off the tongue as smoothly as melted American cheese. Cracker Barrel hasn't had to change their name. I mean, that could be made into a racist thing. Others said the passing of Chinks symbolized the neighborhood's decline. If the shop had been named with the slur against blacks, that would be offensive, said Terrell Jenkins, a 44-year-old African-American man, but Chink was a nickname. It could have been a term of endearment. See, that's the one thing that I've learned about travel. It's just people just give a shit about themselves. So there's an African-American guy. You'd think he'd have empathy. He doesn't give a fuck. It's not coming in his direction. So he's, it could have been a term of endearment. He sounds like a white dude at that point. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of back in the day, one of those, England, they have that stupid royalty, these kings and queens and duchess and dukes, and they just, all this pomp and circumstance. I guess they don't make any decisions over there. But God knows I haven't really read up on it, so what the fuck do I know? But anyways, they had some sort of polo club over there. And there was some Middle Eastern guy who was a member, and I think he was one of the only Middle Eastern guys. Everybody else was these, blue blood guys that all, the incestuous fucking, so they all have weird ears and fucked up looking faces like Prince Charles, And their nickname for him was Sooty. They called him Sooty. So that got out, and the Pakistani guy, whatever the hell his name, whatever ethnicity he was, he said, like, oh, no, it was a term of endearment. I don't mind. I just love, that's such, a blue blood Rothschild level, Sooty. Like the soot from your chimney, from the giant fireplace in your fucking manor. No one thinks about soot anymore. First of all, most houses don't even have fireplaces anymore. You can't even use them unless you buy an old one that's grandfathered in. Then they have these old fucking whatever the next style house up from a manor is. That one that they shoot it from the air and it looks like a public library, except the grounds are so fucking gorgeous. All the hedgerows, to quote Led Zeppelin. If there's something in your hedgerow. So anyway, so it was just fascinating for me to read this, I don't know. It just reminded me. This was like 1950s level sort of racism. Like they're reading just shit and kind of being in that environment. I was surprised that there weren't some people with their hair greased back standing around a like burning trash can singing doo-wop. Had a very Bronx Tale sort of vibe to it. So, but having said that, those racist sons of bitches make some great food. They really do. And I've only ate there one time, so I'm not going to pass judgment other than to say my experience that night. Pat's got the leg up. All right? But that's a divisional rivalry, so they play each other twice in one season. So I got to go back and have another game down there. It was fucking delicious, and I don't regret a second of putting that poison into my body. The fucking bread was delicious. The cheese whiz. All of that toxic, horrific shit that my body is probably still trying to process and decide where it should put it in my body. I'm telling you right now, I would do it again tonight. And I just had it 2 nights ago. It was fucking delicious. So thumbs up on the cuisine. Thumbs down on the ignorant thought. But leaving the sign up, I definitely think the name of the place, if it's racist, you should get rid of it. But there was something about leaving the sign up that, I don't know. To me, I looked at more as like a museum. Like this was the guy, and he was beloved in the neighborhood, yet he thought this way. He had another sign that they actually took down. It said, "Real Americans don't press number 2," which was a reference to, if you'd like English, press 1. A primo numero dos. There's always the fucking prima, whatever the fuck they say, is the Spanish. That one to me was actually funny. I don't condone it or whatever, but it was at least clever sort of racism. I just love that whole philosophy. Give me back. I want my country back. And that's the same fucking guy that if a Native American came up, and said, I want my country back, this guy would immediately go into some sort of, I would imagine, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I imagine he would go on some sort of fucking rant about how Native Americans were savages, as we systematically fucking wiped them out like a bunch of fucking savages. So whatever. It was really interesting and it was delicious food. Okay.